Thank you. Thanks for joining. In this video, we are going to explore Solace further, and what we are going to explore event-driven architecture that is enabled by Solace platform in this video. What we are going to explore in this video is how do we connect from Solace to AWS S3, and how do we push the data that is published by our producer application that is pushed to Solace Broker, and how we configure the Solace Broker so that the data lands in AWS S3 and that can be used for multitude of downstream purposes. So that's what we are going to explore. This video is going to be hands-on. So let's review the architecture that we are going to build here really quickly using just like doing configuration, not coding, and we can it can see how easy it is to kind of enable this flow of data from publisher to the S3 buckets through Solace. So as you already know, Solace is kind of event enables event-driven architecture. So on the left-hand side, there are event producers, and on the right-hand side, there are event consumers who are waiting to consume those events that are produced by the producing application. And the producing application typically publishes to topics. Especially in Solace, they have hierarchical form. Like in this case, it is Amazon slash Solace slash order. It could be refund, fulfillment, things like that. So depending on the type of the topic depending on the type of message that you want to publish, you publish to different topics, and that message is then sent to this broker. And then the broker has the queues, and the queues have subscriptions from the consumers, and we are going to have S3. We're going to define a connector which has information about S3 on one side, and then a subscription information on the second side. And the broker will be able to publish the message to the right subscription, and then it will pass on to S3 bucket. So that is what we are going to build using Connector Wizard on Solace. Now, this architecture has a lot of benefits. First is you're in real time, you're pushing the data from your publishing application to Solace, and from Solace to your S3 bucket, and then from S3 bucket, from S3 bucket you can send it to Amazon Redshift data warehouse, or even you can send it to your near real time data warehouse. You can send it to your RDS for real time analytics, or to Redshift for machine learning applications, or even for analytics type of use case. So this kind of architecture with Solace being in the center enables all of that. So with that, we'll do a quick hands-on. So stay tuned. All right, so let's start with the hands-on part of this video. So I have two screens open. On my left is the AWS console, and on my right is the Solace message broker. So I'm going to first create the S3 bucket to which I'm going to push the data from Solace topics. So let's go ahead, go to S3. Going to S3 here. It's taking a moment to go to S3. Okay, so we are in S3 service console. So we're going to go create a bucket here. So let's click on create bucket. And we'll create general purpose bucket, and then we'll call it okay, so to give it uniqueness, and we'll leave rest of the settings as default. So block all public access, bucket versioning will default. If we scroll down, we'll leave everything as is, and we'll just click on create bucket here. And okay, I misspelled. It says Solace dash S3 dash bucket dash 1234, but we'll just go with this. Now I also created an IAM user as well and provide access, and then we'll use that as well. So let me open a new tab and show. And just for this proof of concept, I've created uh, the user with administrative access. But production, you may want to have more restrictive access. So let's go ahead and look at the user and the credential that I created, the API, the access key and the ID. I'm not sure why I'm saying API, but so this is a Solace user. We go here and we look at permission. So it has administrator access. It has S3 full access, SQS, API gateway, but I also give administrator access as well. And then we'll go to security credentials, and I created access key ending with QGAI, and I was able to download it, and we will use that when we are configuring Solace. So this is the setup on AWS side, and our objective is to get the data from Solace topic to this S3 bucket. So let's go ahead and do some setup on Solace. So this is a Solace event broker. So I'm on my message VPN. I'm going to first create a queue, and we'll call it AWS Solace. Okay, so we'll leave everything default and we'll apply. So as you can see, our queue is created. Now let's add subscription to this, and we'll add subscription as uh, so also Amazon/Solace, and we'll create. Okay, I think I need to. Okay, this might not work, so I'm going to try something else. So let me delete this subscription. I create new subscription. So I'll call it Amazon slash. So anything under Amazon Solace, anything under that is published to those topics, now will be pushed to this queue, and then whoever subscribes to this will be able to get it. So let's go ahead and create it. So now we have our queue, AWS Solace, and we have subscription to it as well. So now let's go ahead and create a client which connects to this queue. So let's create our REST client. Okay, so before we go there, let's use the connector because we want to connect to AWS S3. So there is connector wizard available for us, and there are different options here, and we are going to use AWS, and there are two options, one for API gateway, another for S3. So let's use S3, authenticate. Now here it says connector name, so we can just say connector, and here we need to add our access key and ID. So I do have those, so I'm going to use those access key and ID. So the same access key that I showed. Excuse me. Okay. Except I need to get the comma at the end, and the secret. So that's the secret here, and then the bucket name. So bucket name is, I misspelled it here, but that's okay. So, and I believe this was in US East 1. Yep, US East 1. So we can, yep. Okay, so I guess there is a space, I believe. Okay, and the region is US East 1. And let's go to connector setup. Next step, S3 host is already picked up, client profile default. Let's go to subscription setup. Now in the subscription setup, we have to use file naming, how you want our file to be named. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll name it as, and I'm copying the expression here. So it is substitution expression. So it is topic name dash the timestamp. So each file that each message that you send will create a unique file on S3 side. So that's what's going to happen. Now let's create subscription here. So for the subscription, let me go. All right, so in subscription, we are going to use the same subscription that we used for the queue. Okay, so we'll remove the extra space there. So it is Amazon slash Solace slash and then greater than sign. So that's what we have. Now create and enable the connector. So let's go to the next step. Okay, completed. So everything is up and let's exit here. Okay, so don't set that password. So now we have everything set up here. So we have Solace connector here. And if we look at the connector, it is on, enabled. If we go back and we have RDP client set up, and then you have REST consumer setup, which is our S3. We put all the information. We have this AWS signature version, the access key ID, the region, and the service ID. We have everything set up there. And then if you look at the queue, we have the queue. And if you look at the subscription, there's the subscription. We have Amazon slash Solace and the queue binding. So if we look at queue binding, it shows the name. So it has two. So we go ahead. Okay. All right. Let's try that. With it has two of these. Maybe I need to get rid of one of the backspace. Apply. All right. So then we have substitution expression for the post target request. Um, so now let's go ahead and do try me and try to send messages there. So it's not connected. So let's connect first. Okay. So it's going to ask for password. So let me grab the password here and connect. Okay, so now we are connected. So now let's go ahead and publish to the topic that we are going to publish. So we have subscribed. So let's connect the consumer also. So on the left is the publisher, on the right is the subscriber. And we are going to subscribe to this topic here. And so we are going to publish to Amazon Solace, and we can say orders. And this is the default that Solace provides, default message. So let's go ahead and publish. It should be received by the subscriber here. So let's go ahead and click on publish. So it is received here on the right hand side. So if any consumer has subscribed to this, uh, we use this subscription to subscribe, it should receive. So let me send another message. So it sent two messages here. Now if we look here and try to refresh, see if anything was received. This is the moment of truth. We're kind of acting a little bit slow today. Um, okay, so we have Amazon folder here, which was created, and then it will create Solace folder, and within that, it will create orders, the name of the topic, and then it will create the time to use the timestamp, and it will create the files. Now, if we send in the third message to the same topic, it is the third is received here, and if we refresh here, it should show third as well. Now this was to send to orders. Now if we were supposed to send to say fulfillment messages, and if we publish, it was received here because we had Amazon slash Solace. And if we refresh here, now it would have fulfillment and then the timestamp. So each timestamp is unique and it has the topic name. So this is really a neat way of sending messages from the Solace publisher. And we tested using try me, but this is a quick way of publishing to a topic like this, and it is received on the S3 bucket. It is the bucket path, folder path, and then you can use it um, to do some data engineering on this, put it on Redshift, using glue pipeline, things like that. So there are a couple options that you can use this for: data analytics, machine learning, things like that. So this is really a good way of pushing data from your application um, to the topic, and from topic to S3 destination, where you can use it for further analytics or machine learning applications. So I hope you enjoyed this hands-on. So please share any feedback, and thank you. Thanks again. Thanks for joining.